Congrats, Tiffany. You've hit rock bottom. As soon as I thought that things could have been worse, it started to rain and I ended up soaking wet. Great! This is just what I freaking needed. Enough was enough. It was time to get my luck back. Hi, I'm Tiffany, and I was born under a lucky star. I was the most beautiful girl at school, so I was popular. My parents owned a thriving pastry shop, so they gave me expensive gifts all the time. Oh, and that's my cat Lucky. Isn't he perfect? My classmate Edgar, however, had terrible luck and constantly got into trouble. For example, one day he came to school soaking wet. Our teacher asked him what happened. It wasn't raining after all.
I was riding a bike when my glasses fell off and I fell into a fountain.
Everyone laughed, and I couldn't resist making a snide joke. We should probably Google if bad luck is contagious. And yeah, that wasn't nice of me, but it wasn't my fault Ed was such a loser. One day, my parents and I went to a restaurant. Of course, I was hoping it would be a good one, but we came to a shabby place with the sign attic hanging above it. Ugh, there's probably cockroaches here. The restaurant owner came up to us and assured us her establishment was quite clean. However, there really are cockroaches here. Hissing ones. They live in a special terrarium. Ew! That was disgusting! That old lady was also working really slow. When I asked her what was taking so long, she said that I could come and pick up our food myself. Yeah, right? The service here is terrible! The old lady narrowed her eyes slyly and treated me to a fortune cookie as an apology. I didn't believe in such nonsense, but I took a piece of paper out of it anyway and read the prediction. Beware, you will soon lose your fortune. Who came up with this stuff? My parents liked everything, but I still left a scathing review about that restaurant. It was dirty there. The food tasted awful and the staff was rude. Take that, old lady. The next day, my best friend Diana and I came to the charity fair at school. There were all sorts of attractions there. A contest for the best apple pie and fencing competition were taking place as well. I burst out laughing when I saw Edgar on the list of participants. Poor Ed has no chance of winning. Diana and I kept giggling until I heard a guy called Fred offer the audience his pie. He was saying that his homemade pie was better than the cakes in my parents' expensive pastry shop.
Try it and see for yourselves.
How dare he? I decided to teach the bastard a lesson and asked Diana for help.
Wait, that's kind of mean.
It's mean of him to say such things about my parents' pastry shop. My friend reluctantly agreed. While I was distracting Fred, she sprinkled sand on his pie. Seasoning like that would definitely make him lose all his customers. Pleased with ourselves, we came up to another stand. There were targets there that we were supposed to hit with a ball. I paid for one ticket, and I won 2 toys at once. My friend said admiringly that I was really damn lucky, and no one would laugh even if I kissed the weirdo Ed. What, is that a challenge? I accept. We were joking around when the fencing competition began. I ran up to Edgar and I kissed him on the cheek. Good luck, Ed. He turned red as a tomato and put on an EP mask. And then, something truly unexpected happened. Edgar won the competition. He looked so cool that everyone applauded him. Wow. At that moment, our angry principal came up to Diana and I and said that he had seen my friend throw sand on Fred's pie. Oops.
As punishment, you'll be staying after classes for a week.
Diana looked at me sadly. It seemed like she wanted me to admit that I had talked her into it. But I had better plans than spending all my evenings at school, so I didn't say anything. For some reason, Diana frowned and silently left. I hope she wasn't mad at me. The next day began like a horror movie. I had been bitten by some insect during the night, and in the morning I woke up with a huge blister on my forehead. Besides, I had overslept and was very late. When I asked my parents to give me a ride to school, they said that an inspection was supposed to come to their pastry shop that day, so they had to go there. Damn it! I had to take the bus, and I lost an earring on the way to school. And then, some idiot splashed me with dirty water from a puddle. But the most interesting thing happened when I walked into the classroom. All my classmates were crowded around some handsome guy. Wow, who was that? I took a closer look at him, and I was stunned. No way! It was Edgar. Without glasses, in fashionable clothes, and a confident smile, he looked like a completely different person. It turned out that someone had filmed his match from the day before. The video went viral, and Edgar became popular and decided to change his look. It was a terrible day for me, though. Everything that could go wrong did go wrong. At lunch, I sat down next to Diana and I started to complain, but my best friend interrupted me.
You're so selfish, Tiffany. I got detention because of you, and my parents grounded me, but all you care about is your own problems.
I thought she was being unfair, and we fought. After that, Diana moved to another table. I accidentally dropped my tray with food, and everyone in the dining room laughed at me. On my way home from school, my phone fell out of my pocket and its screen cracked. I was fighting the urge to growl. At home, I asked my parents to buy me a new phone, but they gloomily told me that the inspection had found some violations and closed their pastry shop.
I'm sorry, Tiffany. We can't afford to buy you a new phone right now.
That was the cherry on top of that freaking day. I locked myself in my room and screamed into my pillow while Lucky cuddled up to me. What had happened to me? Then my eyes fell on the nondescript piece of paper from the fortune cookie I'd gotten at the restaurant. Beware, you will soon lose your fortune. Hold on a second. That old lady must have cursed me. Ugh, no wonder she looked like a witch. I immediately went there and demanded that she fix it.
You're not a bad girl, but you're a bit arrogant. You hurt the people around you without even noticing it. You weren't kind to me either, but I'll help you. You'll just have to earn it.
Can you imagine? That old hag said her dishwasher had broken, and she wanted me to wash all the dirty dishes for her. Who did she take me for? I said I would manage without her help, and I went back home. I broke my heel on the way to school the next day, and I fell right into a puddle. I looked like I was gonna take first place in a Halloween costume contest. Viola was enjoying my misfortunes. She had always been in my shadow before, but now she finally showed her true face.
Tiffany, look at you. Are you homeless now?
Ugh. I wanted to show Viola her place, but then our teacher walked into the classroom. She told us to pair up. I used to always work with Diana, but we had argued. I was trying to choose a new partner when Ed suddenly sat down next to me.
Do you mind?
Well, as long as you don't mind sitting next to the biggest loser at school.
Come on, you're just going through a rough patch. It won't last forever. Trust me, I know.
Edgar and I spent the whole lesson quietly whispering to each other. He was very smart and charming, and he didn't mock me for being a human disaster. I felt ashamed of myself for only noticing after we had swapped places. Now, I was a laughingstock, and he was the most popular guy at school. I even wanted to invite him for a walk after class. But a lot of girls were interested in him now. They threw themselves at him, especially that liar Viola. Ew. I was miserable. All I wanted was to bury my face in Lucky's fur. However, when I got home, I couldn't find my cat anywhere. And then I realized I had forgotten to close the door to the backyard. Oh no. Lucky must have run away. I spent several hours running around the streets and calling his name. Soon it got dark, and I lost my voice. So I printed out posters with Lucky's face, and I put them up all around the neighborhood. I was lost in thought, and before I knew it, I had found myself in a bad neighborhood. Where am I? It's so creepy here. I suddenly heard barking behind me. My blood ran cold. Those were stray dogs. I got scared and I ran away without even looking back. I ran into a dead end. The angry dogs were getting closer. I couldn't think of anything better to do than hide in a dumpster. Oh, it stinks. When I stuck my head out of the garbage, I didn't know whether to laugh or cry. It turned out I had been chased by a small chihuahua, and not a pack of huge angry dogs. The dog's owner called her and she ran away. As soon as I thought that things could have been worse, it started to rain and I ended up soaking wet. Ugh, enough was enough. It was time to get my luck back. The next day, I came to Attic. Okay, you win. Is your offer still on the table? I washed a ton of dirty dishes, and then the old lady smiled amiably and made us tea.
Well, now let's talk about what's troubling you. When did this all begin?
When you gave me that fortune cookie?
That was just a warning. You took your luck for granted and treated everyone around you badly. So, your luck left you and chose someone who deserved it more.
I thought about it, and I remembered kissing Ed and wishing him good luck before his match. After that, I had a rough patch, and he, on the contrary, became Mr. Lucky. I told the old lady about it, and she suggested I try fixing my mistakes. She believed my good luck might return after that. However, I had a better plan. I think I'll just get Edgar to kiss me. Then, things have to go back to normal. The old lady sighed, resigned, and I ran happily home. In the morning, I tried to dress like a movie star. After all, I wanted to impress Edgar. Unfortunately, a pimple had popped up on my nose, and the wind ruined my hair. I had spent an hour on it. I still tried to act confident, though. But all my attempts to flirt ended in disaster. For example, I tried to strut down the hallway, but I tripped and fell. Viola filmed it on her phone.
Oh, Tiffany, that was amazing. Well, being a model isn't for everyone.
She had a point. Edgar asked me why I was acting so weird in class. I couldn't help myself, and I told him everything from the very beginning. Being a loser is your destiny. I want you to kiss me and give me my cool life back.
Oh, and here I thought you had changed, but you're still as selfish as ever. I was wrong about you.
Ed shook his head disappointedly and didn't say another word. Damn it. I had finally hurt the last person to treat me well. That made me realize that I really was acting nasty. I had to fix everything. I decided to start with a visit to the principal. I told him that I was the one who'd convinced Diana to ruin Fred's pie, and I should have been punished instead. And then I made a pizza with a sad face meat of sausages on it, and I went to my friend's place to apologize. I'm sorry. Diana didn't say anything. I probably didn't deserve a friend like her anyway. But soon after that, I found my lost earring. And then the guy who had splashed me with dirty water apologized to me. Wow, it worked! The day after that, I apologized to Fred, and I promised that my dad would give him a masterclass in baking. Fred forgave me. You won't believe what happened next. My parents called me and told me there had been some sort of mistake. They got permission to open their pastry shop again. As I continued to make amends, my life just kept getting better and better. Soon, I got so used to acting that way that I just kept being kind to people for no reason, even to strangers. I never wanted anything for myself. I just liked seeing grateful smiles on people's faces. Ed was still ignoring me though, and I still couldn't find Lucky. I opened Ed's social media, and I found out that he liked banana muffins. So I asked my dad for his recipe, and I made a delicious gift for Edgar. I tried to make up with him at school, but Viola wouldn't let me do it.
Stay away from my boyfriend.
Hey, he's not your property and can talk to whoever he wants. Viola warned me she would make my life a living hell, and she kept her word. At recess, a photo of her covered in dirt was sent to the school's group chat. I didn't even realize what she was up to until our principal stormed into the classroom looking mad as hell. It turned out Viola had sent the photo herself to make it look like I'd pushed her into the dirt to humiliate her. Ugh, that lying witch! The principal said that I could even be expelled. I was scared, but then something unexpected happened. Diana, Fred, and the rest of the people I'd helped suddenly stood up for me.
Tiffany's been helping me with math all day. I saw Viola dirtying her own clothes to frame Tiffany.
Thanks to their words, the principal believed me, and he called Viola's parents to the school. Her lies turned against her. I was rewarded for my good deeds and finally made up with Diana. That wasn't the only good thing that happened that day. Someone texted me in the evening. They said that they had found my cat and they sent me an address. I ran there as fast as I could. Imagine my surprise when Ed opened the door. He probably wasn't expecting to see me either, and we were both embarrassed.
I saw how kind and attentive you've been lately. You probably deserve to be lucky again, so I'm ready to give your luck back. Guess I'll just be the boring weirdo again.
Ed leaned down and kissed me. I felt like I had grown wings, and I realized that I really liked Ed. He looked sad as he handed me Lucky and closed the door. I went home. Life went back to normal. I thought I would feel happy again, but I couldn't stop thinking about how unfair it was that only one of us could be lucky. I was so lost in thought that I almost knocked an old lady over. It was the owner of Attic. I told her that her advice had actually helped me get my friends back and make some new ones. But I didn't know what to do about Ed. For some reason, the old lady laughed. I was right. You are a very nice girl. The prediction in your cookie didn't actually mean anything. It was just coincidence.
However, it did teach you to think about the consequences of your actions.
Oh, but of course! I believed that I had become a loser. That's why I had attracted trouble. The same thing happened to Edgar. I thanked the owner of Attic once again and I ran home. In the morning, the final fencing competition was taking place at our school. Ed was losing, and Viola quickly was losing interest in him. But I knew how to cheer him up. Edgar, I didn't turn you lucky with that kiss. It's nonsense. You won because you're good, and you can win again. After all, you're amazing, and I like you. Apparently, my words made Ed believe in himself again, because he took an honorable second place. And then we went to a pizzeria with our friends. Ed kissed me again, just because he wanted to, and not to give me my luck back. This adventure taught me to appreciate what I have, to brag less, and not to envy anyone.